back to another video here on Squadding Quads, and today it's very exciting because FPV goes back to its roots once again. We've got the GoPro Hero Mission One Pro. No, is it the Hero? No, it's no longer called the Hero. I don't care. It's called the GoPro Mission One, and it's the Pro version. So it does offer a little bit more recording options against the standard one. Overall, it's very, very similar. You are paying a little bit extra, but you are getting those higher frame rates. There was a question over whether we should get the ILS version, and the truth be told, with regards to the ILS version, it's probably not suitable for people like us who fly FPV drones because of that Micro Four Thirds lens and the lack of autofocus. Now you can set it to infinity and most of the stuff will be okay. But the truth be told, this is not a small camera. It is a bit of a chonker, especially when you stick it on the front of a 5-inch like we have done here. Like I say, it's going back to its roots. FPV is healing again. We're getting rid of everything DJI. Ignore the O4 Pro. We're getting rid of everything DJI and we're going back to our roots where we all started. We all started in analog. We all started with GoPros. Is it going to be any good? Now, there's a few things that it can do that an O4 Pro can't, and that includes stabilizing footage if you've got a new one. So there's plenty of reasons why this might be a smart choice for FPV pilots. But this video is at this moment in time. I've just received it today. Today is obviously the release date of it. So as of today, this is just a first look of it. This is not a full review. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, have a couple of flights. We'll do one flight where we just show off what it looks like. And then the second flight, we'll do a side-by-side comparison of the O4 and the Mission One just to sort of see the difference. And we'll probably stick the goggles view in there as well. So you get a holistic view of everything that's going on. But I'm going to shut up and I'm going to see you all at the field. Let's go. Okay, so we are back going again after our little crash. Yep. Well, I was going to say I won't call it a crash. It was more of a scenic trip to the lower echelons of the grass.
Also known as pilot error.
Also known as pilot error.
Also known as sea word. The sea word. Also known as the sea word. Because we're going so fast though.
It is nice sticking it on a drone that's got a lot of power. Okay, I'm coming back to land. That lady's coming back. Okay, so that was the first flight, and the truth be told, it looks really nice. We're not really going to know exactly how nice it looks until we compare it to something else. Now, we are going to compare it to all sorts of things. Like I say, this is just the first look. But that being said, let's go back out to the field now. We've seen exactly what it can do. By the way, just so you all know, the settings that we used there were, okay, you probably can't see this, but the settings we used were 16:9, 4K, 60 frames per second. We use Super View with Hyper Smooth on. We use 10-bit color. We use max bit rate. We turned HLG HDR off. We used a cinematic color grade. We set the shutter type to fixed, and the shutter was 1/1440. That's just because of how bright it was. Basically, we used manual controls. We left nothing to the camera itself. We set the ISO to a maximum of 100, and our white balance was 5500, and we set denoise to high. As I use it more, we're going to be doing the color, the log profile. As I use it more, we're going to use the log profiles, and we're going to color grade it, and we're going to look at just how much you can get out of it. But I know that a lot of you just want to see that footage. Let's just see that footage. So we've set it to manual, but we haven't color graded it. So anything you see on screen is straight out of camera, but in manual mode. There's two different things for anybody that doesn't know. If you set something to auto and you leave it on standard color grade, it's going to look over sharpened, a little bit potentially glitchy, and a bit like a mobile phone. And you're paying a lot of money for a decent camera. Don't make it look like a mobile phone. And the same goes for your O4 Pro as well. You don't need to set that to auto. Set it to manual. Learn your exposure triangle. And listen, if you want a video on the exposure triangle, I am a former professional photographer. I am more than happy to sit down and explain it to you guys. It's really easy to learn, but if somebody hasn't explained it to you, it can seem a little bit, whoa, what is this all about? So yeah, so there's that. And then there's also, you can set it to manual camera settings, whereby you control exactly how the camera grabs the image, but auto color grading. And that's what we've done on this occasion. For the very, very best results, you want manual camera control and you want manual color grading, which puts you in a flat profile so you can then deal with it afterwards. And again, we're going to do that another day. The sun and stuff wasn't brilliant today, so it wasn't really much point. And this is going to shine in low light more than anything else, let's be fair. But we'll have a look at it. We'll take a look and we'll see exactly what it's like. But that's all for future videos. I'm rambling on. Let's go and do the comparison. Okay, so maiden fly of the GoPro Mission One Pro. Now then, it's been a while since I've flown with the GoPro on.
I'll put the phone back in the pocket.
Thank you, sir.
Good.
The one thing that you get, again, that we haven't had for a few years is something catching.
I heard something. Oh, something's catching. Yeah, something keeps catching.
Hang on. No, let me just come back.
Something's catching.
Just eyeball it for me. So you do get the whole sling ability back like the olden days of FPV. Is FPV healing? Are we going back to the roots of FPV? Well, we're back with the GoPro for the first time in many years. And the question is, how good is it going to be? Well, the great thing with the powerful drones these days is you don't really tend to notice the weight. You're going to notice the weight on your flight times, of course. But overall, okay. Overall, you're not really going to notice. All right, boss. Thank you, boss. You're not really going to notice the weight of the drone. It is literally just going to be, oh no. Okay, so that was the comparison, and I think when we look at them side by side, I can't hold this for very long. It does weigh a little bit, and I've got a bit of a dodgy arm. But I think when you hold them side by side, you can see the difference in the lens size alone, let alone the image processor, let alone anything else. I think when you hold them side by side, or when you look at them side by side, I think the difference is insurmountable. I think it really does stand out. And I think that's where you're going to see the most difference against something like an O4 Pro, which is the current standard. You've then got something like the Mission One Pro, which is just a level above. Now, we didn't necessarily show it off to its best values today. Like I say, we didn't manually color grade it. It was a bit of an overcast day, but if that's what you're doing and you're just going out and flying and you want to capture the best possible footage for just a little bit of fun, then that's what you're going to get back in return. And I don't think it's that bad. And I think where it really will shine in the coming few weeks and months is if DJI, Apologies, I know it's going to trigger lots of people, but if DJI don't fix their problems with the gyro sensor, this obviously has stabilized the footage perfectly. It looks really nice, it looks really smooth, and they've really nailed it, and it looks really, really good. And I think the problem is if DJI don't get on their case now and get it resolved, I think you're going to see more and more people adding external action cameras. Now, are they going to go as far as adding a Mission One? Who knows? You know, you've got plenty of lightweight camera options out there. But like I said in a previous video, switching back to HD0, it added all the fun back into it, and just slapping a GoPro on it just felt like the old days. It was really, really good, including the crash as well. So I think it's got legs. I think it's got massive potential, and I think we might see a fair few pilots starting to use them again. But, and there's always going to be a but, we're in a situation now whereby we're looking at regulations, we're looking at regulatory changes, and lots of them are all about sub 250, sub 250, sub 250. Now, will that ultimately change people's minds? Potentially. Will it cause potential problems? Well, potentially. Certainly here in the UK, we've got another 18 months before we need to really start considering changing how we fly in FPV. There's a little bit of a misnomer. There are some DJI pilots, and a lot of them are sort of on the more professional end, and they see it as, well, if you haven't got a class marking, therefore you must fly 150 meters away from everything, even with the tiny up. And that's not the case. We can still fly under the legacy FPV rules in the UK until the 1st of January 2028. Yeah, 2028. So as it stands, we're okay. We can carry on doing what we do, and we can use our I didn't turn it off. We can use our FPV UK membership, and we can carry on doing everything that we're doing on our A2 CFC as it is. So we're okay. So if you're somebody that likes to change your kit every 18 months, then you're okay to buy it and not worry about it too much. If you're somebody that wants to keep this and fly this in 5 years' time, there might be regulatory issues around that. And that's just in the UK. Excuse me. And that's just in the UK. Other countries, certain, European countries or wherever, are following a similar sort of line of looking at their regulatory requirements and changing them. And so who knows? But that's the situation that we're in today. Certainly here in the UK, we've got another 18 months grace. We can continue to fly as we are. So if you're thinking, oh, well, I can be under 900 grams or I can be under a kilogram, but I can't fly it. FPV UK or an A2 CFC, you're absolutely fine. Other countries, you'll need to check your local regulations. Apologies, I'm not up on every country out there. But if you want to ask me a question, I can always research it and let you know. But that's where we're at. That's the initial impressions of it, and that's me talking for far too long. But I'm a little bit excited. Like I say, I started FPV sort of 12, 13 years ago. This is what we all did back in the day, and it does just feel like FPV is getting a little bit of soul back in with HD0 and now GoPros, and it was nice. It's nice. It's not perfect, and it's quite expensive, and it's quite heavy, but it is what it is, and I think the footage probably speaks for itself. But let me know in the comments down below, will you be considering getting one of these GoPro Mission One Pros? Or are you going to wait for whatever the next iteration is? Are you going to wait for a sort of naked version or a slimmer version or a cut down version, a mini version? Or are you just going to keep flying the O4 Pro? And I think as long as DJI resolve that problem, I think there's going to be loads of people that are more than happy with the O4 Pro. And there's going to be some that think, oh, well, yeah, I'll stick something on a bit nicer for certain flights and certain things. Like sunrises and sunsets with this thing is going to be amazing. I've got a couple of 7-inch drones being sent to me. We're going to stick it on. We're going to go out for a sunset or a sunrise, and it's going to look pretty amazing. So, pick the weapon of your choice. Pick your poison, so to speak. But listen, I've talked for far too long. I've gone on for far too much. My apologies. Like I say, I'm a little bit excited. Like the video, hype the video, share the video, do all that sort of weird stuff. There isn't going to be a link to buy one of these. There's no affiliate or anything like that. So if you want to go and grab one, go to GoPro.com and I don't know, tell them I sent you. I don't know. But whatever you do, make sure you go and fly and have some fun. And remember this, one more day. YouTube and I have had a chat, and we believe that this is the video that you'll like the most. So watch it and let me know if they're right.